just, I'm going to start
Okay.
now, and then, we can send them this video later for people who are not here the whole time. And then Christy's here watching live at the Idaho Falls office. So
Perfect.
welcome to RSA training. If you have questions as we go, Wyatt or Christy, just let me know. I can also take questions at the end, or you can type them into the chat box, Wyatt, if you would like. But I am going to mute you for now, and then we will just get started. So when you were onboarded, you were hopefully provided with a RealSmart agent login, and that would be your username and your password. And you just go to realsmartagent.com to use that login information. There's also an app. I don't know if either of you have downloaded it yet, but it is just RealSmart Agent, and you can find it in the App Store and on Google Play. It's a great and easy way to keep track of your transactions, approve your commissions, and kind of reference different dates that are important during a transaction. So just wanted you to know you can get to RealSmart Agent on a desktop or laptop or through the app. It does look a bit different from the app. So when you're on your laptop, you'll have a lot more features than the app will. But once you are at that login screen on a desktop or a laptop, just type in your username and password. If you ever forget it, you can just click that forgot password link right there. And once you get logged in, you kind of have what would be considered like your feed, kind of like Facebook, with new announcements and information at the top, different things that are happening either through HomeSmart International or locally. So if you just scroll, you'll see older announcements will be at the bottom and the newest ones will be at the top. So just kind of think it's kind of like Facebook that way. To your right, you'll see this blue box that says approve your commission. So that's super important for when you have a closing coming up, which I did have one earlier. I wish I would have saved it and not approved it yet, but you won't have anything if you don't have a closing coming up for a few weeks. But once you're about 5 days out, or 3 to 5 days out, you should see the address of your closing and the amount of your commission that you're getting, and then the portion that goes to HomeSmart and a green button that says approve. So once you click that approve button, it gets sent to the escrow officer who is helping you with the transaction at the title company. And that is basically like a document that tells them how you are to be paid from the transaction. It's called an order to pay commission. So if you can remember OTPC for short, order to pay commission is kind of like the disbursement agreement. That's what other brokerages call it. But it's important that we make sure those numbers are accurate. And if your commission amount changes throughout the transaction, or if the purchase price changes, then that will change the commission amount. So you want to update it, and I'll show you how to update it and go in there and edit it if you need to. But just know that you're going to have to come in and approve it a few days before your closings, okay? And then directly below it, you don't need to pay attention to that processing time frame. That's just internally when they're processing things. But the quick links is pretty cool because it is literally just all the links that our agents use most often. So if you need some marketing ideas or somewhere to create different things for social media, Canva is a really great website. So we put that one up top. IREC is the commission website. So you can see the status of your license. You can see upcoming CE classes. You can look up other licensees. There's a lot that you can do and should be doing on IREC. IMLS, of course, is the Idaho Mountain MLS, and that is the Boise and Twin Falls area. So quick link there. And then Paragon, Pocatello, RSA Training playlist is more videos that will break down specifically kind of like what we're talking about today, but with other topics as well. So if you want to go back and do other training, click that and it'll take you to YouTube. The Snake River MLS, of course, is Idaho Falls. So that's probably the one that you guys would use most often. You can just click it right there and you'll go right over to Navica. And then Social Me is a website that a lot of our agents use to order business cards and signs. I'll show you another way that you can also do that too if you haven't yet. But yeah, so those are what quick links are. That's just a very broad overview of the very first things that you see when you log in. One thing I want to cover now is when you first log in, if you haven't done it yet, you need to go over to your name in the upper right-hand corner where it says hello and just click it. And you'll be taken to some general information that you need to verify is correct because we put this information in way back when you were first onboarded. So like Austin probably put your information in here for you Idaho Falls agents. So triple check that you have everything spelled correctly. You can change your password if you need to. Make sure that your contact information, like your street address, is correct. We don't put in an emergency contact for you. So I would recommend doing that if you haven't yet. And then make sure your email is correct. All of this contact information, like the email and your phone number, are going to be displayed on a lot of the marketing materials that HomeSmart provides. So that's why you want to verify that it's correct. I think we can only do your phone number. So if your phone number is incorrect on anything, we'll have to do it from the back end, but you can change your email address if you need to. Billing information for monthly bill, those monthly invoices that we send you. If this ever changes, just let us know, or you can do it yourself. It's pretty quick. So referral information, this is cool because HomeSmart is in a national franchise brokerage. So we often have our information put out to agents across the country, and they're able to search for agents based on different things like these designations. If you speak a foreign language, they could find you by searching with the filter of, Spanish speaking agent or whatever. So if you have any designations, go through, look at what they all are. You can put yours in. Oops, I'm not a CSP. Civic activities, if you're involved in anything cool like that, I would recommend putting it. It just makes you look cool. You don't have to have anything, as you can see, I really don't. If you have anything special that you specialize in, specific that you specialize in, you can put them here. Things like multifamily, first-time home buyers, condos, home staging, commercial, whatever. You can go ahead and put those specifications in. Any hobbies that you have, you could also leave it blank. You don't have to do anything there, but it does help to have it filled out. If you have any specific areas that you like to serve, whether it's counties or cities or neighborhoods, you can put them in here. It's just going to show up under your name when people are searching for you. You can type up a couple of sentences about yourself as well right here, but I will show you where there's another bio that is more important, another biography that you need to type up. This one doesn't get shown. I think this is only like for HomeSmart agents to see. So don't worry too much about that part. But if you ever do anything in RSA, you want to make sure and click the Save Changes button at the bottom right-hand corner. Just obviously so that everything that you typed in or changed gets saved. Okay, very important. If there's nothing else you take away from today, let it be this. You should update your profile image right here under Web Options. If you have not yet, you need to just click this Choose File button, and then it'll open up like to your desktop or to your files or whatever, and you could upload a picture. If you don't have a picture yet, like a professional one, just have a family member or a friend take a picture of you with a plain background. But you really should have a good headshot image because this is going to go on a ton of marketing stuff like business cards and your website and all different things. So just upload a picture, and you can change it later if you want to get like a more professional one done later. Then over here, any links that you have to social media pages, you should paste the URL in. If you don't have them, that's okay. But if you have them, you may as well put them in here. If you have a specific website that you have outside of your HomeSmart website, which I will show you how to access later, you can put the URL here. Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Instagram. If you have them, I would put them in. Again, you don't have to, but it does help. And then click Save Changes once you're done. Moving over to accounting, we don't actually use this tab too much for ours. It should just be defaulting to the branch location where you can pick up your check if it doesn't if it's not held by the title company. But when you guys have closings and you're ready to get paid, the title company will cut your check for you and they will let you know that you can come pick it up at their office. So wherever you had the closing usually is where you will pick up your check once the transaction has funded and recorded. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. Put it to branch if needed, but I don't think you should have to worry about that. Same with payments. We do a QuickBooks thing, so we don't use this tab. Some other brokerages do, but we have a different system for paying. If you are going on vacation and you want somebody to cover for you, you can put down the names and the dates that you'll be gone and who's covering for you and what their phone number is. I used this for maternity leave last time I had a baby. But obviously you'll probably want to let the other agent know. This is just like for our back end, if we are trying to get a hold of you, for some reason we can't. And you have put this in there, we'll know why and when you're coming back, if that makes sense. If you have a Buffini referral maker account, you can type in your username and password and they will sync up. I don't have one, so I'm not quite sure all that it does, but I'm sure it tracks your transactions and stuff. Buffini is like he's a top agent. I think he just talks about marketing and referrals and stuff. But it's just a kind of like a separate thing that you can pay for if you want. I don't know anybody personally who uses it, but I guess if you do, then you can integrate it here. Your settings, this is important. Go through and see what is selected for you on this tab. You can choose to get emailed once your transaction's been reviewed and approved. I really like to know when that's happening. So I've selected yes and yes. The session expiration is how long you'll have in RSA before it kicks you out and makes you have to log in again. If you were a TC, you would select yes, so you can coordinate other people's transactions for them. HomeSmart Client is an app for like buyers and sellers to use. You can copy the link and visit it and go see what it looks like. You can show estimates or home evaluations on it. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to get into it too much because we don't have time to, but just know that you have the ability to have an app that is branded to you that you can send to your clients. Then you just click Save Changes. If you changed anything, My Training Account, we don't use that either. Okay, so we're done here in this tab. Remember, it's in the top right-hand corner under your name. Go through and put your picture in if you haven't yet. Very, very important. So now we're going to go back out and talk about what to do when you get a transaction and how to upload it so that the broker and the compliance manager can see the files that you have for that transaction. Okay. I don't know why this is not loading. That's okay though. So we're going to go over here. First thing over here at the top right is, or I'm sorry, top left says transactions. And I'm actually going to start with the tab that says sales. Listings is first, but we'll just start with sales. I think that'll be the easiest way to train you guys how to really use RSA. I don't know why is my internet not working. Yeah, it was working just fine though. That's annoying. Hold on, let me refresh my page. I might have to log back in just a second. It's Wi-Fi, man.
Hey.
What's up? An unexpected error occurred. Yes, I can see that. Okay. Transactions and then sales. So if you have if you're representing the buyer on any transactions, this is the tab that you're going to go to see those things. Okay. So I've got 3 pending right now. You can see what things are missing paperwork. You can quickly see the sales price. You can see the MLS number. And that little icon of the property is also helpful to remember what they look like. But if you're putting in a new one, you're going to click this button, create a sale. This is very straightforward. It is not rocket science. Like it's very simple to put transactions in and listings in and stuff. It's not anything complicated. When in doubt, just click next or upload or save. Oh no. My internet's not working. Sorry if the recording is cutting out too. Oh no. I'm gonna move over to a new tab, Christy, so just a second. Okay, so create a sale. Oh my, okay, good. I was gonna say, if it doesn't load, I'm gonna be upset. So, first of all, if you are the buyer's agent, you can usually find the listing that you're selling on the MLS. Sometimes it's a for sale by owner, so it won't be on the MLS, but you should triple check first because you can just add a lot of information in really quickly if you have the MLS number right here. Okay, but pretend like we don't have a MLS number. You're just going to click no thanks, enter manually. So you're going to walk through and just start by filling everything out that has an asterisk by it. So that's going to be everything that's just required for creating the sale. So the first thing is the property type. Is it residential, commercial, multifamily, whatever? If you have ownership interest, as in you own the property or a partial owner or something, you'd select that. Then you type in the street number. So I'm going to just use a fake address. So 123 Main will be the pretend address. And then I'll say Pocatello, that's where I live. Idaho 83201. Okay, you can add in this information. This kind of stuff is what pops in automatically when you have an MLS number. So that's why it's nice because you don't have to type it all in. And then you want to confirm the purchase price. I don't know why I said that. Let's say it's $250. The contract date is going to be the date that you all signed the purchase and sale agreement. So I'll pretend like this went under contract yesterday, 2222. And then you want to put the closing date, which you can also find on the purchase and sale agreement. And we'll pretend like it's March 2nd is the closing date. If you need help finding where that is on the contract, just ask me or Elias or Austin. They can help you find it on your purchase and sale agreement, or Lucas if you're in Meridian, or Ben if you're in Twin Falls. Okay, and then it's gonna, once you click next, it's gonna ask you which side you're representing. Right now we're pretending like we're representing the buyer, but you have to put in who the agent is that's representing the seller. So you're gonna put the seller's agent in this little box right here. And your first thing to do is to search for them. So let's say Elias is the listing agent. So I'm going to type his name in. You want to type it in before you click create new agent because they might already be in our system. Sometimes outside agents aren't. So if they're from a different brokerage, sometimes they're not in the system, but if they've done a few transactions before, like they've been licensed for a little bit, they may already be in here. So you need to search for them first. Somebody created another alias. That's what happened here. So you want to just find the one that says in-house agent, select it, and then click add. So he is under the seller agent box now. And I'm under the buyer's box. You can change it if you accidentally add somebody, you can just select it and click remove. But once you've added the agent for the other side, you're going to click next, and you need to add in the client. So whoever you are representing needs to be on this transaction. So if you have never done a transaction before, you're going to click create new client. You're going to put in their information, first name, last name, email, and phone number. Hopefully you have that information already. If you're representing them, you should know how to contact them and what their full legal name is. If you've ever worked with them before and you're kind of using like a repeat buyer or seller, then they might already be in here. But most of you guys are all new, so you probably won't have anybody for a while that's a repeat. But let's pretend like Brian Buyer is my client. So I'm going to select him and then come down here, click add. So he's under my client. And now I'm going to find a seller. These are just fake people, as you can see, just for the purposes of the for the training. But okay, so we've got Sally Seller and Brian Buyer under the clients. You just need to have a name for the other side, for the other party's client. So like Elias is representing the seller. I may not have her contact information. It's not really normal to have the other people's clients' information. So just put in their name. That's the only thing required for the other side. Just have to have their names in there. and then click next. If somebody has sent you this referral, like an agent from Utah sent you this buyer, then you would need to put in the agent's information right here so that they can get paid on the transaction. Okay, but if you don't have a referral or anything, then you just click next. So vendors means like the affiliates or the people working on the transaction with you. The one that should be selected is title/escrow. It's under vendor type. And then you need to search for their name first. And how you'll know who your vendor is the escrow officer who is handling the transaction at the title company where you are sending the deal to. Okay, so as a new agent, it can be really hard to know who to send the deal to, who's my escrow officer for this transaction. Just ask another agent for help, ask Elias, ask the title company, who to send the deal to. Hopefully, as you get to know more people in real estate, you'll get to know some escrow officers. They'll come to our meetings, they'll take you to lunch, you can go visit their offices. And then you'll kind of find out the escrow officers that you like working with, and then you can send deals to them. So for example, my go-to escrow officer at AmeriTitle in Pocatello is Annette Baumeister. And so she's already in here. Just search for them first. They're probably already in our system. If for some reason your escrow officer is not in the system, just click create new vendor/contact. You'll have to put in which title company they're with and all their contact information. So just search for them first. They're usually in the system already. So I'm going to select Annette. And then generally speaking, the escrow officer works both sides of the transaction so that she'll be working with the buyers and the sellers. So what I do is I select her and I click add to both. Okay, and triple check the email address because this is where that order to pay commission or the OTPC, the commission instructions, that is where this gets sent to. That's where this gets sent to. So that email address right there, triple check that it's correct. Call the title company or look for the email with their correct email address on it. And then once they've been added to both sides, you can click next. If it changes, just make sure you come back and edit that. I'll show you how later. So we're working our way through our steps. We're almost done, but commissions, of course, is important. You need to know how much you're getting paid. On the seller side, so I said it was Elias as the other agent. We're pretending. I don't know how much he's getting paid. Usually you don't. So just put 0% on the other person's side if you don't specifically know, but that information won't get sent to the title company, so it doesn't really matter. What does matter is the percentage on your side. You can also do a flat number right here if you're just taking, let's say $3,000 or something, but let's pretend I'm taking 3%. It's going to automatically calculate my percentage of commission. So 3% of that $250 purchase price is $7,500. It's going to break down right here how much is getting taken out. So HomeSmart's getting $500 altogether. So my net commission due to me that will be on my check at closing is this $7,000. Okay, so you just want to triple check that that's correct. If it doesn't let you move forward to the next step without putting something in on the seller side, just come here and put $1 or something, and then it'll let you move on next. But like I said, this doesn't get sent to anybody. And so don't worry about that being correct. Elias is getting -$600. Click next once you're done there. Order services, we don't have that option or need it here. Notes, if you have any notes about this transaction that you would like to remember, just type them in here and click next. It won't be visible to anybody else, just you. So if you need to remember something, just put it here. I've never really used that. I just write it down in my notes app on my phone or something, but click save all changes once you're done. And this is going to create a sale number. So this really long number right here is the reference number you can use for the transaction. And it's going to kick you out to this fun little tab called documents. So it's going to be the time when you need to upload all of the contracts that you have signed for this purchase. So before you create an RSA transaction right now, you need to make sure that you have the documents needed for this transaction. So you should have a signed agency disclosure, right? So we always need to have that blue brochure signed by anybody at the first substantial point of business. Hopefully you learned that in your real estate classes. You should also have a purchase and sale agreement. So your RE21. You should always have a seller's property condition disclosure signed. It doesn't matter when it was built or anything like that. Always have an RE25 for the sale of property in Idaho if it's residential. And then you will eventually have an earnest money receipt you can upload. And eventually there will be a settlement statement uploaded as well. But let's say you just have an agency disclosure and a purchase or a property disclosure and a purchase and sale agreement to upload for this transaction. You're going to come here to the inbox and you're going to click the purple cloud, which it doesn't show you, Michelle or Christy, I'm sorry, but it'll open up a box that lets you upload PDFs from your desktop or from your folders, from your recents, from your downloads. So once you have a signed contract, it should be in your email from, getting it from the listing agent or sending it to the listing agent or whatever. And so you need to save it to your laptop or to your phone or something like that, and then upload it here. And I can get into that more later. I know it sounds confusing, but just know that this is the step that happens after you have a contract pending. Okay. And using Form Simplicity or Transaction Desk is how you're going to get those contracts sent to your clients, signed, and then you can send the document to the other agent to have them sign it, and so on and so forth. So just remember, this is what you do after you have put a deal together. You do need to upload your documents within 24 hours of having them signed. So let's say Christy had a buyer go under contract yesterday. You have all of the RE21 and the disclosures signed. That is when you would create this sale and upload those documents. So you're just going to upload it here to this inbox folder, and then you're going to click save. And our compliance manager will sort the files into the different folders that they go to. So she'll take them out of this inbox folder, look at them, see what's missing from them, give you notes if you need to change anything, and then she'll put them into the correct folders. All you need to remember is upload your documents to the purple cloud under inbox. Okay, so I'm going to go back out. I'm going to pretend like, okay, I just uploaded some of my documents that I needed for this transaction. You can remember, go back. Once you click sales, it'll take you to here so you can see all of them. So I'm going to click on that one, Main Street. If you did connect an MLS number, you'll be able to see the picture, like their main picture that they use for it. Right here, this is just the general information about the property, including the address, the type, and the status of it. This email address right here, it says shareable email, and it's like a really long email address with your sale number on it. You can email your paperwork there. If you don't want to click the purple cloud and upload it that way, you could just email your purchase and sale agreement, your agency disclosure. You can email everything right to that email address, and it will just upload it automatically that way. How you can see what you're missing, because I know it's hard sometimes to keep track of everything. This box right here, the required documents. So you can see it. We always need an agency disclosure brochure. You need an earnest money receipt. You need, well, we don't do the MLS data sheet. It's actually not required, so just disregard that. You can upload it, but you don't have to. Your RE21 and your RE25 are also required. I'm actually going to go back out and I'll show you an example of like, so this one is closing on the 11th for me. And you can see what I have uploaded, what has been reviewed, and what I'm missing. It just makes it really, really easy to know what you're missing. So like this purchase and sale agreement has been received, but it has not been reviewed. You really want to try to get all green check marks. Otherwise they can't release your check, okay? Because this is all the things that are required for a compliant sale in the state of Idaho. So if you're ever wondering why things are not complete, or why you don't have a green check mark, you need to scroll down and look at these things that say review items. So this is what the compliance manager has typed up that needed to be fixed. So on my RE25, she said, second seller signature, initials, and date are missing on pages 1 through 3. Second seller signature and date are missing on the 4th page. So basically only the husband had signed this, and I needed both the husband and the wife to sign it. So I had to request that the listing agent send me the RE25 with both signatures on it and both initials on every page. So hopefully that makes sense. Just remember to scroll down and check your review items. If you're ever not sure what the heck they mean, generally they're good about saying, like, look at this line, you're missing a, you forgot to check this, or you forgot to initial, or whatever. So it's pretty straightforward, but you can text me or Elias and ask us too. We just want to make sure you have compliant stuff so you can get paid. Okay, so let's say that you have to edit your commission, like maybe the purchase price changes during the inspection period, or you decide that you're taking a different amount of commission. So I went down to 1.5% commission for this transaction, and I had to type that in to save it so that the OTPC could be updated for the escrow officer. That's a lot of words, but basically just want to make sure your transaction or the purchase price is correct and your commission is correct as well, and your fees are correct. I only pay $50 to HomeSmart because I'm part owner, but you guys will all see everybody else sees a $500 transaction fee. Okay, if you do anything, you remember to click Save Changes at the bottom. And we're pretty much done with the main part of RSA. This is the whole point of it. It's to upload your transactions to make sure you're compliant, that our broker can see all of our contracts, and so that you can get paid. Okay, so this was under sales. So remember, sales is for when you're representing the buyer. If you are representing the seller, you will go to listings, and it's a very, very similar process. I'm not going to walk you through the entire thing, but you're basically just going to put all the information in, address, asking price, listing date. And I recommend putting it on the MLS first, because it will pop all of that information in for you automatically with your MLS number. Okay, so for example, on this Valley Road transaction, you might have seen that it was also under sales because I sold it. So I'm not representing the seller. I mean, I'm not representing the buyer on it, but it still is a sale that is happening. So you'll start by putting a listing under, create a listing, go through the next steps, and then you'll have the option to convert it into a sale once it goes under contract. But it's literally the exact same things. You're gonna have to put a lead-based paint disclosure if it's built before 1978, right? And you'll have a seller's rep agreement, and you'll always have that seller's property disclosure and the agency disclosure. So it's very similar. Like I said, I have to put the seller's information in. I have to upload my documents. I can see how many times it was viewed. That's just, oh, that's on HomeSmart.com. You can see any services. We don't do that actually, so pay no attention to that. You can see the history of the transaction too. But like I said, it's really similar to just putting in a buyer. Just follow the steps, next, 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 and anything that's required, you have to fill out before it'll let you save it. So listings and sales, rentals, again, exactly the same. If you're, representing somebody on a rental agreement, you'll do the same exact thing. If you referred like a buyer or a seller to another agent and you're getting paid part of that commission, then you're going to also create a referral. You don't have to upload all the documents because you're not liable for all of them. You're just going to put in how much you're going to get paid so that they can track it for tax purposes. We don't have anything under the miscellaneous tab, so don't worry about that. Closings is kind of fun. It lets you see all of your closings that you've had, or rentals or whatever. You can set the dates. So if you wanted to know, like, hey, how did I do in the last, 4 or 5 months? You can set the date back and see all of the addresses. You can see how much money you made, the gross commission. You can see the volume total that you did. You can look at you could print this page out if you want to, feel really good about yourself and see all your closings. It's kind of fun to look at the end of the year to see how many you did. So that's it for the transaction tab. So most of the information for RSA is right there. We're just going to keep working our way down, but a lot of it's similar. So if you have a coming soon listing, then you will just create it the same exact way. You'll have to put information in and, save it as a coming soon listing. I think these are becoming less common because like the market is just changing, but it is a thing there if you want to put it in there. I would recommend just waiting till it's actually listed or sold and then put it into the transaction tab. Okay, under marketing, this is a really fun tab. There's a lot of information here too, but we'll start with the smart tools. Close without saving. I don't actually have a coming soon listing. Okay, so click smart tools under your marketing tab. If you don't have a listing, you will not have anything here to look at. So just keep in mind, it's only for marketing your listings. But when you do have a listing, there are some really cool things that HomeSmart has created for you for free. So if you have put it onto the MLS, you have all the information already saved. So you can click this button that says Smart Tube, and it'll take you to, sorry, you can't see it, a video on YouTube for the listing that has all the pictures from the MLS, a description that you've typed up, how many bedrooms and bathrooms. It'll have your contact information. It's just a very generic video, but it's nice because you didn't have to create it and they made it for you, and you can kind of share it on your social media. You can copy the URL and share it to people, email it out, put it on Facebook, whatever. And that's just what the Smart Tube is. When you have a listing, one thing you have to make sure and do is under where is it? Transaction. Oh, I have to click edit. Once you're putting it into RSA, under this marketing tab, you have to select this button that says syndicate on YouTube. Otherwise, it will not create a YouTube video for the property. Okay, and it usually does take about an hour to 2 hours for them to process the video and create it. So just do it right when you have the listing, and then by the time you're ready to market it, it should be ready. But that is why it didn't show up and it said Smart Tube is still being processed, because I hadn't selected it. My husband actually did a walkthrough video for me, and he used his gimbal and did a whole different video. But this one is a free video. You don't have to do anything for it, and it's actually really, really easy. So just know you have to select syndicate on YouTube if you do want that Smart Tube marketing. But two other things, very cool for marketing your listing. Smart flyers. If you have like an info box on your yard sign, you can print these flyers out that are created automatically for you. And you can also use them at your open house. You just click the design that you like, and then it'll open up as a PDF in a different tab, and you can print it out. You can save it. You can share it. You can email it to people. It's going to have, I'll show it to you, Christy. You'll have your contact information. It'll have the MLS description that you typed up, bedroom, bathroom, square footage, address, everything. And I didn't have to do it. It's all compliant with HomeSmart Premier Realty. It has our brokerage name. So this is just one example of why it's so important to have your picture uploaded and your contact information correct, because that stuff goes on every single piece of marketing, like I said, and it's just automatic. So whatever is typed in is what's going to be on the flyer or the video or the website. Okay, I'm going to switch back over. So just remember, that's called Smart Gallery. I'm sorry, Smart Flyer. Switching over tabs for Christy. Okay, Smart Gallery, also very, very cool. It is a landing page or a website created specifically for your listing. This is an awesome website to share on your social media, kind of like the YouTube video. But that's why it's important to have your MLS number connected to it, because it will pop in all of the pictures automatically. It'll put in all this information as far as listing price, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, description, a map, the MLS number. If you scroll down, you'll see even more information about the house. I didn't have to type any of this in. It was already in the MLS. When I put it in the MLS, I had to fill it all out. And so it just pulled all that information and put it there for me. The school information is here, the different school zones. People can use a mortgage calculator if they want to know how much their payment would be. And then your contact information is at the bottom. If they're interested in setting up a showing or something, they can submit a inquiry right here and it'll get emailed right to your email. Again, your contact information should be at the bottom. Lots of links to different places, but really it's just this main landing page that shows pictures of the house and the information about the property. Okay, so this is the Smart Gallery, and it's a great tool or product that you can market to your sellers. So when you go to a listing appointment, you can tell them, hey, look, I have a whole website created just for your property specifically. And it makes your sellers feel really good, and it makes you look like $1 million and you really didn't do anything. I mean, you're with HomeSmart, that's what you did, but you know what I mean? So smart tools, that's where all those are. If you ever forget, there's other videos that will train you and remind you how to use them. But there's lots of options there. Okay, Smart Sites 2.0 is all about your personal website that HomeSmart has given to every single agent. So once you click Smart Sites 2.0, it'll take you to this big website that lets you see your personal website. So if you want to see what it looks like, I know Christy's probably seen hers, but if you click preview website, Wyatt, you can see what yours will look like. And everybody's is very similar. It's going to have the same general things like a search box for finding homes. You can change out this background picture. I'll show you how to do that. Again, it'll have your contact information, your branch location, social media links, a bio about yourself, which I'll show you where to put that in. And look, it's that picture again. That's why it's so important to have your picture uploaded at the very beginning, okay? So people can search for properties. It's a very basic website. There are things that you can add to it. You can make it cool. You can put a blog on, you can add videos, whatever. Just know that you can do a lot with it, but you don't have to. It's all there already created for you. Okay, so if you would like to change a few things about it, you just need to go over to site settings. And the header image is going to be that background image that you see when you first go to the website, okay? So you should probably have one of these default pictures right now. It is probably what the background looks like for you guys. To change it, you just need to click choose file right here, upload it from your desktop or whatever, and then click upload photo, okay? Whichever one is selected is the one that will be on the background. So if you have multiple ones selected, then it will rotate through and show, you know, a different one every time they log in, or a different, you know, a different background every time somebody goes to the website. It'll switch back and forth, if that makes sense. I'm not smart enough to know Google Analytics, but if you have a code, you can paste it here. If you have any listings, you can see it right here under the properties, and it will ask you if you want it to be featured on your site, yes or no. I don't know why it wouldn't be featured automatically, but you'll have to just select it if you want it to be on your website. Any of your sales that you've done will be under MLS sales. So you can just click those and it's going to show up on your website as houses that you have sold. Favorites is if somebody goes to your website and saves any homes that they've looked up, you'll see them right here. The CRM that HomeSmart provides is pretty basic. It's just CRM is a client relationship manager, and it's basically a database of people's information that you hold on to and can use for marketing purposes, or to keep track of, you know, their phone numbers and their emails and send them things and remember who they are. Okay, so you can upload contacts by clicking add contact, You can create groups within your contacts, like sellers, buyers, people from church, like whatever. You can create groups for anything. Just play around in here. I'm not going to go into any more detail because I could go on and on about it. And there are other videos that can give you more information about it as well. Marketing, I'm also not getting into, but you can create different farms where you send out newsletters and flyers and create drip campaigns and postcards and all different things. Again, there's other videos that'll go into more depth. The smart CMAs are actually really cool. You can do a CMA on the MLS, so on Navica for you Idaho Falls agents, or you can create one in RSA right here. And they do look really cool. And there's a bunch of different pages that you can add or take away from your CMA that are better, in my opinion. They look better than like the MLS CMAs. I'm trying to see if there's an example that I can show you. Christy, I'll have to cast to you really quick. So just know that you can add pages and take away from them. So if you have your biography typed up, it'll pop up right here. If you have any client references, it'll pop up on this page. The CMA for your subject property will be right here as far as like where on the map it is. And then you can type in, you can customize like a welcome letter for your sellers, because CMAs are really for sellers, right? Getting ready to list their house so they know how much to price it at. This is a really old one. It's from 2019, but I don't know. I just think this kind looks a little bit better than like a regular MLS CMA does. So give it a shot, play around with it. It's called Smart CMA. And like I said, there's a bunch of different pages you can add to it. I know that doesn't really make sense right now, but you can put in like different marketing pages that show your sellers that you're going to create that smart gallery, or that you have a YouTube video created for each listing. It shows all the different sites that your listing goes to, like all the different Zillow and realtor.com sites and everything. But it's just pretty overwhelming. So just know that you have the option to create a very awesome looking CMA. If you want to, you would just click new report and follow the steps if you wanted to create that. Okay. Tours, we don't really use. You can upload a video tour if you wanted to. My website. So any information that you want on your website, that's like not just the basic things that HomeSmart puts in, is going to be under this tab. So about me, I would really recommend all of you guys type up a few sentences about yourself and put it in right here under this about me on the my website tab. You just need to click edit and then type in your bio. You know, I know it's weird to talk about yourself, but that's what people see when they go to that website. When they scroll down and look at your picture, right next to it's going to be that description about you, and you don't really want it to be blank. So just type in a few sentences and then click save. If you want to make some blog posts, you can do it here. If you have any references from past buyers, sellers, or friends and family, you can type it up right here and save it. Or go on your website. Neighborhoods that you like to work in, you just click add. You can't really see it, sorry, Christy, but on the right side, you can click add. You can add different pages. You could upload your own things and click save. So like I said, you can really customize your website a lot, or you can just leave it very basic if you don't want to put a lot of energy into it. Email templates, if somebody wants to like schedule a showing for a house, this is the email that they get once they've requested a showing. It's just generic, hey, thanks for your request. I'll get back to you shortly. I look forward to working with you. So if you want to change that, you can. It's just a very basic welcome email. Media center. So if you want to add any of their like videos, or maybe upload your own videos, you can do that right here. SEO tags. If you want to try to be found online a little bit easier, you just type in, I actually really don't understand SEO, so just ask a web designer maybe for help here. But I know that if you can type in any keywords and pop them in right here and click save, people will find your website easier. Okay, so I could go on and on about that, but that is all we have time for on that tab. And that was under Smart Sites under the marketing tab on RSA. Now, the rest of this is really straightforward. The Marketing Design Center, when you click on it, it's going to take you to another website that has a whole bunch of marketing materials for you, whether it's signs, business cards, things that you can pay for like postcards, or free things like your email signature and like social media posts. They have so many different things. So what you're going to want to do is once you click on that Marketing Design Center tab, you're going to go to the store, the drop down menu, and then just start playing around. So as a new agent, I would recommend you go here to the agent branding tab and then type in or click on the business cards option, which Christy was just telling me that she got the Popple keychain thing with the QR code on it, which is really cool. Those are 15 bucks, it looks like. Or you can get a traditional business card, like a paper business card, and it's going to automatically pop in that headshot that I told you guys to upload at the beginning, all of your contact information, HomeSmart logos. They have a few different designs and they're really reasonably priced, but they're very basic and they're very generic. So if you want to create your own, that's okay too. Just know that they have them already created for you if you want to use these ones. I'd also recommend looking at the email signatures, ordering a name badge, getting a yard sign ordered, look for different things like these social media graphics. The guides and how-tos are really awesome. You can order t-shirts, you can order flyers. Like there's just so many different things on here. So play around. That's called the Marketing Design Center, or MDC for short. And we're almost done. Under marketing downloads, you'll see all of our logos, the different types of logos, whether it's black and white or color or transparent background. So if you're doing your own marketing materials, that's where you find those. Global referrals, you'll have to kind of sign up for this website, but if you're looking to get some more referrals from people out of state or even globally, you can create a profile and follow the steps there. You just click OK, and it'll take you to their website. Under education, this is really cool. You can see all the different classes that HomeSmart International has for you. So if you ever want to rewatch like this video, they do it every single Tuesday at noon. And they do HomeSmart Marketing Design Center every Wednesday at 12. And then they do Intro to Smart Sites. So that website that we were just looking at for your website, like the way to customize it and stuff, they do a whole training on that every single Thursday. And then they do other fun things like the Drive to 5, which is like the Drive to 5 transactions. You can just click on that and then it'll show you the Zoom link for it and when and where it's happening. It's all via Zoom, and it's it'll show the time and stuff right there and then the Zoom link for you. So that's class schedule. If you signed up for any classes, they'll show up right here under my classes. The video tab has links to all the different YouTube playlists that HomeSmart International has created. Highly recommend going through and watching a lot of these if you can, if you ever have time. You know, click HomeSmart marketing tips. Really, I recommend that business builders one. Go to that one, play on it, and learn lots of things. We don't have anything under our education downloads. Live training just takes you right to Zoom. Online CE takes you to a website where you can get your CE credits done if you want to. And then the next tab down is Office. We really don't use our Office tab very often, but if there's any new updates, they'll go under there. If you want to know where the branch locations are for all 4 of our branches in Idaho, like let's say you're visiting Meridian, you can find the address right here. Lucas is the branch manager there. So that's kind of cool. That's under branch locations. We don't use the conference room or the office space tabs, but if we get big enough and you need to request it, you can do it there. We can start using it, but just come in and use it if you need to. There's usually nobody in our conference room, so just feel free to drop in. Calendar is going to show any upcoming closings that you have, so you can kind of keep track easily of when those are happening. It'll show you the closing date and that sale number from the transaction creation tab. That was calendar. Downloads has other downloads, including the logos, but also more things like a new billing form. If you want to read through your E&O insurance or you have a referral, or if you want to read through policies and procedures, all of our downloads is under there. Marketplace has a bunch of different websites and profiles that you can sign up for if you want to look more into those. They're just discounts that you can get for signing up for different things. If you do it through here rather than on your own. HomeSmart has provided like promo codes for you. Frequently asked questions, we have none under there right now. Contact us if you're ever not sure. One thing I want you all to do right now, if you haven't already, is this agent services phone number right here. I want you to save that, because if you have issues with your Real Smart agent profile or uploading transactions or getting your picture to show up on any of your marketing, they are the whole call center team at HomeSmart International in Arizona, in Scottsdale, who will answer those questions and be able to fix things on the back end for you. So it's 602-889-2135. And I just have that saved under my phone as agent services, and I call them with any questions that I have. But that's the contact us tab. So we literally went through every single tab. I showed you a very broad overview. I know it feels overwhelming or like there's a lot, but I mean, you're getting a lot provided to you when you're an agent with HomeSmart, and I want you guys to take advantage of it. So use all the marketing materials that you can, share your website, share your listing videos, fill out the profiles that you can. You have to have your transaction contracts uploaded within 24 hours, and you need to be able to approve your commission. So those two things are going to make sure that you get paid on time and that your transaction is compliant. But if you ever have questions, you can contact me. You can contact Elias. We'll walk you through it. I'd rather have you call and ask me a dumb question than for you to feel stuck and like overwhelmed. So call me, text me anytime. I'm here for you. And if you ever have problems, just let me know. But that is it for our RSA training. So thank you guys for joining. I'm going to stop the recording. And Christy and White, if you guys have questions, let me know. But